Alright guys, welcome back to a recipe review. Today we're going to be reviewing a recipe by Claudia Fleming. It's a blueberry tart. This recipe was a bit of a disaster, and we'll get into it. To start, we made a cornmeal buttermilk dough, which uses finely ground cornmeal. It's quite hard to get hold of. I basically just got the finest cornmeal I could get, strained it. I actually tried using a mortar and pestle. It was just imparting a weird taste that I didn't want. So, cornmeal, flour, sugar, salt, butter, buttermilk. We incorporated it all together, got a nice shaggy dough, balled it up, refrigerated it, rolled it out, put it into the tin, froze that for about 30 minutes. I mean, it doesn't freeze, but it cools down quick. Quick blind bake, 10 minutes with weights, 5 minutes without. While that's cooling, we make a reduction. I had some nice wild blueberries that were frozen, so I used those with some sugar, some star anise, some lemon zest, simmer it, let everything dissolve for a little bit, and then cool it down, strain it, and that's our reduction. Now, once we get to the filling, that's when things start to get a little squirrely. 300 grams fresh blueberries, 50 grams of sugar, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. She asks for it to be tossed, put into the blind baked tart shell, then baked for 30 to 40 minutes until bubbling and golden brown. Ended up taking almost 2 hours, and even then I had to help it along. So I'm quite sure she wanted me to macerate the berries so there were juices coming out of them. That liquid would help dissolve the sugars, it would help the cornstarch thicken. Now, if that is the case, that definitely gets points off because it's not very clear in the recipe. These kind of things create inconsistencies. Okay, so now where I fucked up, she asks not to use a deep dish pie plate and to use a shallow pie plate. I had a shallow one. Instead of being the 9-inch diameter that she wanted, it was 11 inches. I thought it'd be more fair to use the 9-inch medium thickness that I had, and these things can really affect bake times. So because of that, I'm not gonna review this with points. I'm just gonna discuss the recipe. That was really annoying. I also had dinner going, so it really kind of delayed everything. That being said, we got through, finishing things off with a whipped yogurt cream. Just heavy cream whipped with confectioner's sugar, vanilla paste, and then we fold in some plain yogurts. Spread that nice and thin on top once the tart is cooled. And then we add blueberries that have been tossed in that previous reduction we talked about. Then some extra reduction is thrown on top. Another thing that wasn't fully clear to me was how much of the reduction she wanted me to add. At first I thought that I was supposed to add all of it, but the tart was kind of drowning in the reduction. If I would have just used my intuition, I would have added much less of the reduction. Again, I was just trying to be fair. She probably wanted that to be done to taste. These words are important. I think if you want the berries to be macerated, say macerate. If you want something to be to taste, say to taste. A good recipe to me is all about being as concise as possible with as few words as possible, especially in professional kitchens, because when you're doing things at a fast pace, you don't want your cooks to be reading pages and pages of fucking bullshit, you know? Okay, so that's it. So, based on how I baked it, I would give the flavors a 7.4, pretty delicious. I didn't actually like the star anise that much. Those licorice notes go really well with berries. I really like that pairing, but it just didn't work in a tart, in my humble opinion. However, the citrus does pair really nicely. Lemon zest, orange zest, these flavors are really cool with blueberries. Pretty good recipe. I'll also say it held really well. I would even say it improved one day in the fridge. I was expecting the whipped cream, being that it was folded in with the yogurt and it got the reduction on top. I thought that it might kind of deflate. It actually kind of caked up and held really nicely. And the crust really held up well. Yeah, I actually preferred the tart the next day, a little cold. Anyway, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching. Let me know if I fucked up hard with the pie plate. I did not expect it to take that long in the oven, and I still doubt a small dimension like that would affect the bake time so drastically. But let me know, because maybe I'm an idiot.